Good evening, everyone. You're watching the weekly podcast. I'm your host, Raj Singh, and I have my co-host with me.
Gurdwara.
Thank you, everyone. And we are here with you all with our special guest today, not from our county, from our city, but from Bay Area side, city of Santa Clara's Vice Mayor Raj Chahal. Welcome, Raj
Thank
Chahal, on
you.
our show.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation.
It's an honor that you accepted our request and being with us tonight, this evening, to share the journey of being a Santa Clara's resident to a vice mayor of city of Santa Clara. So, Raj, I should address you, Vice Mayor Rajal. Why don't you tell us about the journey that you had in this country, when you came to this country, and when did you get involved in the public office?
Okay. Thank you, Rajdeep and Gurtej. I appreciate your invitation, and I'm glad to be here, honored to be here, rather. So I came to this country in 1995. And just like any other immigrant, the first years, you do something with the work, earn enough money to feed your family and work for your kids. And then in 2005, actually, I started my own company with a few partners. And I'm a co-founder of a hardware company, GenStore Systems, which make high-end data center servers. And we do have export to worldwide of those servers and appliances, basically. And getting involved into this field, like it is a story. Actually, both my sons, they were very involved in the student politics while they were in the school, and their involvement kept on growing. And my younger son kept on growing into like president of the school, elementary school, then secretary and the president of middle school, and he collected funds for cancer and some of these non-profit organizations. And that's the time I thought, hey, I don't have any right to tell him to do something unless I get involved. So I think in 2011 we started the first Sikh Boy Scout group of anywhere in the USA. That was under the banner of San Jose Sikh Gurdwara, and I was the founding member as well as the scout master for that. And then I got involved into the city. I got onto the charter review committee for the city, which was to find out ways we can amend the charter so that we can bring minorities into the city council. And for last 70 plus years, there was no minority on the council. But that report didn't go anywhere. We gave some opinions, and the council just filed it away, and that's it, done with it. And then I got elected, appointed to International Exchange Commission of the city, and that led me to get involved with the sister cities. Actually, sister cities is a very good organization where all the youth, they travel all across the world to your sister cities. And my son also got involved with that. And he was actually, when he was in 10th grade, he got elected to the Sister City Board of Directors all over USA. And the Sister City was formed by President Eisenhower. So that was a great experience. And then 2013, I got onto the Planning Commission. I know, Gurtej, you are on Planning Commission, and that's a very good experience as a resident in decision making and learning a lot about the processes. So I got involved into 2013. I got into Planning Commission, and then also got involved in various non-profit organizations. I was a member of Library Foundation, board member for that, board member for Mission City Community Fund, which is the biggest non-profit organization of our city. And then 2016, I ran for election, my first election. I lost the election. But 2018 we made it. So 2018 I got elected to the city council. So that's my journey.
No, thank you very much for sharing the journey for being an immigrant. So I think for last 70 years, so before you got elected, there was no one from even the minority community that was part of the Santa Clara Council.
Yes, Yeah,
Yeah.
that is right. Like we had all white council for so long, and luck would have it, and hard work. We all do hard work, but you have to have luck and support from the community and the whole community as such. So those things help, and here we are. We broke that barrier, and we got onto the council basically. Yeah.
Especially there's always a need for somebody like the community whom they can rely upon, who's kind of feels who can sympathize with them, who understand their issues, like as we are seeing in the COVID era. So there are lots of issues, especially the minority community they are facing. So can you share some about what kinds of challenges you see in day-to-day lives of the minority communities or even the whole Santa Clara County, and how did you tackle it during your tenure in the council?
Right. Thank you for the question. One of the basic principle I, as a council member or in my life, uh, I follow is whosoever is above me in the financial aspect, I don't need to help them. They can take care of themselves. But it's our moral duty to help people who are not so privileged, who have not been so lucky to in this life, and we need to help them. During this pandemic, I was the first council member to ask for anti-eviction ordinance. We brought that. We brought that anti-eviction ordinance because if you cannot pay your rent, you cannot be evicted from your houses. So I brought that, and then we brought a rent assistance program. So we almost contributed more than $2 million towards that program. So we started with 1.2 million, then added some more, and it's still active. We are going into third phase right now. So applications open on April 5th. So that's very well needed because this pandemic has been very brutal on so many of our community and minorities or common resident within the city. So that was very good. And then our small businesses, that was the third program we brought forward. And we contributed almost $2 million on that. And that was a grant program. We gave grant of $5,000 or $10,000, no loan, nothing. We just gave the grants. So those were specifically, we pivoted towards the pandemic-related issues. And on top of that, I have a community within my district which need really more help. A particular Hispanic and even Indian community, they need that. So I arranged a free food distribution along with the nonprofit. So we distributed more than 80,000 pounds of fresh produce in those communities for every Saturday. And we are still doing that right now. So those are some of the, as a council member, we could pick up how we can help the community. Some of our other issues, they went to the back burner, we wanted a smart growth in the city, how to mitigate traffic issues. But with COVID, those things got into the back burner, and we basically pivoted into these things for last 1 year. Yeah.
Well, Dan, thank you. Thank you very much on touching on all those points. Now, I want to bring back to, again, some of other questions about your journey. And as you mentioned a really important and big point that you are an immigrant in this country. You were not born and brought up here. You came in back in 1995. And since then, you're living in here. And I'm, as a Gurdwara and myself, we both are immigrants. And we know when we came to this country, it was a huge challenge customizing to language, to being socialized with people, and adapting overall. So in this journey to become running for a council member, like you said, you did in 2016, and before that you were on different commissions. But in order to get to that platform, get to those commissions, I believe there must be some challenges you were facing that you had to overcome. And especially being a minority, like you said, prior to that, there was an entire council was all from a white race, and there was no anybody from the minority community. So can you share some of your experience, some of the challenges that you faced during that time?
Sure. Thank you. So I never imagined that I'll be a council member or vice mayor over here in this country, to be very frank. One good thing is, we all know, and you as a youth and your next generation, education is very important. One of the best thing I had in my life, I studied in a Sainik school in Haryana, Kunjpura. So I had a best of education, then did my master's in physics honors, did my MBA back home. I had a very good job back home. That gave you a lot of confidence in what you are trying to do, basically. Studying in a boarding school, in a Sainik school, you learn almost every trick, you know all the survival tricks you know. So that brought it over here. So initially, yeah, I left a job like in India. I had a like company provided car, company provided house, and everything. And I left that, and people were saying, "Where are you going?" And I had started from scratch basically. When my first job was accounts payable clerical job for almost 6 months, and that's what was my first job. But if you are hardworking, you are analytical, you have education background, this country is great. Like it's not perfect, but it is a great country to give you boost, and you can achieve your dreams basically. And I got selected in National Defense Academy in India, back home in India, for 3 times. But I had some minor medical issues, couldn't go through, that was my first goal, was to become an army officer. I couldn't join that, although I passed everything, but I couldn't go there. So coming back to over here, it is all your persuasiveness. When you get involved into the community, you see the problems, and you want to become a part of a solution basically. And that is the main thing. When you're trying to be a part of a solution, it motivates you, it gets into you how you can do that. And that's what it happened to me basically. As I mentioned, my kids were very motivating factor to me, and I'm so lucky. And my wife, she has been a best pillar for me. She never stopped me, and she's very religious and guided me towards doing the best thing for people who need the most basically. So my 2 sons, they're great. One graduated from Santa Clara University, and second one went to Ivy League school at Dartmouth. So I'm so blessed with those things. Like I have everything in my life, so it's time to give back to the community, and that's what prompted me to do these things.
This is very interesting and incredibly very inspiring to hear this. That usually what we have seen, that the kids would say, "Hey, I'm getting inspired because of my dad is being involved, and he's having a volunteering spirit, and he's doing this and he's doing that, and that's how I got into a political arena, or I wanted to be in a public office." But in your story, it's so unique, and you're saying you got inspired in your sons being involved in their schools and doing different things. That's very, very incredible. And
something has to trigger you. Like something has to trigger you, and once that trigger ignition ignites, then you can do anything. Right?
Yeah, no. When you mentioned about starting the Boy Scout, the first Boy Scout Sikh pack, then I was wondering, so Boy Scout, from where that thing came from? So because my schooling is from Air Force School, so you are Sainik School veteran, so now I can correlate. So Boy Scout is coming from your schooling. So other thing, yeah, the service SSB interviews and everything. So I can definitely correlate with that. So I have been to multiple SSB interviews. So, but yeah, destiny has its.
Yeah, I cleared 3 times SSB interviews. I cleared 3 times for my NDA.
Right. Yeah. You know, I went to Bangalore, Allahabad, and Bhopal. So I have been to SSBs. So Boy Scout. So that is a unique thing. So lots of people, they are not aware of that concept, why it is so important. Whom I meet, so I always advocate everybody to at least explore that opportunity, what that concept is and how it can shape your kids. So how you can just maybe from your point of view just share with the listeners whose kids are growing up at the early ages why it's such a valuable organization.
Right. So one thing is very important. If you want to inculcate leadership skills and outdoor skills into our next generation, so Boy Scout is one of the best streams you can take it. And there are 2 reasons. One is it's taking care of the kids' needs and make them telling them survival skills. And it also involves the parents. Like some of my best days were when we were scouting. Like me and my sons never missed out of 13 camps. I only missed one camp, one camping. Otherwise, rain or shine, we used to go because sometimes my fellow parents used to call us, "Oh, Rajpaji, बहुत बारिश हो रही है, cancel कर दिया." मैंने नहीं, you can cancel. I'm going there. So those survival skills. And other thing is, it attaches you to the mainstream. You know, we have a Sunday Gurdwara school. That's important. I'm not denying that. But when you do something in the mainstream, you interact with different religious groups within scouting. You go to Camp High Sierra, you meet so many other kids from all over California. And that gives our kids more exposure about other religions. Like we had Jews coming to our Sikh temple, Gurdwara Sahib, and kids going to churches, different churches. And that makes us a better community as you learn about other cultures, other religions. And I know your banner itself says, recognize the human race as one. That's very important concept. And Babe Nanak ne jehdi cheezan sanu basic fundamental dasi hui hai, those are the best fundamental things. And if we can follow those, whole world will be a better world. Like we all will be in a much better shape. And that applies to kids too.
Right. Now, here I want to emphasize to our listeners, so please Google it, research what this Boy Scout means. It's a 111 years old organization. It shapes your kids, it engages them, it gives them confidence, as Rachel mentioned. So it grooms them overall. So that is the overall development that matters a lot.
That's right. And it gives you opportunities to volunteer in the community in addition to the survival skills. So like both my kids are Eagle Scouts, and when all of our first batch, 7 or 8, all of them were Eagle, you know, with Desi community, we were piche pajanne fir karke harte, right? So that's there. We just need a driving force. Ki karna ki hai, daso to sahi karna ki hai.
Right. Yeah, no, personally, I'm very much attached to it. So for the whole schooling, I was in the Boy Scouts. I did all the camps nationally, internationally as well. Now at 9 years old, so he's in a pack. He's fully involved in the Boy Scouts. So it's a wonderful organization to be with.
Yeah.
So now I just want to ask you, so like there are many issues of your citizens you are seeing on the day-to-day basis. So what issues that are prominent to you, what catches your mind, and what you think, like you were saying, some issues are on the back burner, but what issues are in the back of your mind you want to work on during these coming years?
So Santa Clara, one of the biggest issue is affordable housing. That's one very paramount. Like any property here is 1.5 million and above. Like I can't imagine how our next generation can buy a house, and even rents are like $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. If you want to single family house, it's exorbitant rents. So that's one problem, like affordable housing, jobs to housing ratio, and which is very bad. Like we have double the population of the city during the daytime because so many people are coming into Bay Area or city of Santa Clara. And that causes traffic issues, quality of life issues for the residents. So how to mitigate those? Like what can we do for those? So affordable housing, we are putting more demand for affordable component in each housing development. We started with 15%, but for the specific area plans, we are trying to increase those limits even further so that we get more affordable housing component. So, and not only that, like some of you being on the planning commission know better, like we can go to 80% AMI, and we are trying to go even lower so that we can have even people who do not have the income levels which common person has basically. So that's the one thing. And then how these cities are growing. Like I know we are a capitalistic society. businesses will keep growing at the cost of quality of life of residents.
Right.
But at the end of the day, what is paramount is the quality of life of the residents is paramount. So I want the businesses who we have multi-billion-dollar companies in Santa Clara, Intel, Palo Alto Networks, Ericsson, Nvidia, AMD. They have all their headquarters here. Analog Devices. Market cap of all these companies more than $500 billion, top 10 or 11 companies. So my goal is, hey, you should be helping this community, either voluntarily or we will put employee tax or something like that.
Right.
But it's their social responsibility to help people who like a simple family whose rent has gone from let's say $1,000 to $2,000 within span of last 4 or 5 years. He is paying for that affordability gap. He is paying because the rents have gone back higher because of demand and supply, because these companies have so much growth, they have so many employees that demand has gone. So they should contribute towards this thing. I'm trying to do that they should voluntarily contribute to do that. And for traffic, they should contribute towards mitigating traffic, more towards that. And I'm also trying to advocate free shuttle service in the city. Because if you bring free shuttle, so much of traffic can be, so much cars can be taken off the road. Like when I drop off my kids, pick up my kids, and if my kid can take a free shuttle to the nearest stop and walk to my home, you're taking that, how many trips, vehicle miles travel, how many trips we are eliminating out of it. So that's another one. And what else about the community? Rest is keep your utility rates low. Santa Clara is lucky in a sense, we own our own utility, we have our own power. So we have one of the lowest rates of power, electricity rates in the area, or probably maybe whole of California. And that we don't want to increase it to that, and keep the garbage and other utility rates low. So those are some of the day-to-day basic issues we need to take care of the residents.
Yeah, from that thing, one point came to my mind as technologically, your Santa Clara is, I can say, #1 in the whole globe, where all these prominent organizations are there. So it is all because of connectivity, all the, we can say, the internet connectivity, so which your city overall has. So how do you see that? So how did it reach, and what are your future visions down that line, so that interconnectivity will be feasible or affordable to every citizens for their development?
So I am little bit off the track on this side. I want these bigger businesses not to concentrate in one area.
Okay.
They should be going out. Like if Intel is making their second headquarters, they should not be making over here, because we are already so dense. These companies should, they can go to Tracy, they can go to Danville and spread out, because people in Tracy why should people from Tracy commute towards Bay Area? They should be commuting locally for the jobs, right? So I'm of that opinion. They should, yeah, we provide best of the services, but because of that, quality of life of our residents are going down because of the traffic and other issues. So they should be going up. As regards internet, with the pandemic, this has been a big issue, providing a basic utility to all the families of city of Santa Clara, and everybody should, this should be a basic right. And we have a city of Santa Clara, its own fiber across the city, and they provide the fiber connectivity to the school district and the city itself. And I have explored that what can we do to provide fast connectivity to our residents. So it's a very complicated project. I'm not sure we will be able to do that, but you're right. Internet is basic need of every household right now. So we should be looking into those things.
Yeah, no, I think that was the nutshell where I was going. So wanted to understand from the city that is very much developed in the sense of technology, like you and we are on the same page. Yes, it has to be diversified. Smaller cities should have those job opportunities like Manteca, Tracy, Modesto, Central Valley. But
Yeah.
what we hear is lack of this internet connectivity. Companies don't want to come because they don't have the connectivity. So as you mentioned, your city owns fiber. So I
Right.
think that should be the solution going forward. These smaller cities should look into that, learn from the bigger cities. As you are in the council, so I would encourage whoever is listening from the administrative side, so they can always reach out to these bigger cities and learn from them how they develop their infrastructure. And eventually, if you start now, maybe in 10, 15 years, these Central Valley cities will have a better connectivity and sub branches of those bigger organizations can be opened here.
You're very correct. Like, and technology, this internet technology advancing. Elon Musk has launched all the satellites, and he will be starting pretty soon. And a
Right.
good thing about that would be you don't have to dig any trenches. Basically, you don't have to lay out the fiber. You will have the best of connectivity through satellites. So, and that should be good sign for any of these companies to go anywhere, because then you have all the connectivity you what you want basically, and spread the wealth basically. Go
Right.
everywhere, and Babe Nanak wala kam hai, sab da pala karo,
Yes.
sarbat da pala. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and cost-wise, as you mentioned, so to lay out this infrastructure, it is very costly. So we just want to touch one more point. So if cities will take a lead, it is very much cost-effective for them to lay
Right.
out this infrastructure. They don't have to go out for any easement. They don't have to take any permissions. For a private company to lay this infrastructure, it is very challenging. So
Yes.
cities should have its own infrastructure. They can lease it out. They can lease it out to the private companies, to the private owners. They can generate revenue from this aspect. So yeah, they should be learning from the bigger cities who have this infrastructure in place.
Right. No, that's very correct. Like, yeah, we all have to learn from each other and do whatever best we can do. Yeah.
Right. So now I'll take it back to Rajdeep.
Yeah, no, thank you. This was very interesting and very intellectual and very good information, I think, that we discussed today. And especially, like you said, Santa Clara, San Jose, Palo Alto, those are the areas that are known for bigger companies, Google, Microsoft, and like Intel, Juniper Networks, and you mentioned a couple others as well. So that's what the era we're getting into. And living in the suburbs right now, that's one of the biggest challenges where, like you mentioned, like the Vice Mayor Raj mentioned, that in the daytime, you guys have a double the population because people are coming, traffic is coming into your city, whereas the people are leaving from our cities to go to Bay Area. And we are losing that dollar here, what they would be spending here for the businesses. And this whole thing needs to be discussed, and cities needs to communicate and see what they can do to develop that sort of a structure so where everybody can have a balanced growth. Yeah. So the residents in the area, they can have a quality life, and the quality life can. Same goes for the people living in Central Valley because they're traveling for 2 hours in the traffic.
Yep.
The Altamont Pass, and nobody's happy on the both sides. The people.
At the end of the day, it's all quality of life. Like how we can have a better quality of life. And I'm happy some of the after effects of COVID pandemic. Like a lot of companies are looking forward to make permanent, you can remotely work. You may have to come only once a week. And that's such a good thing, like environment sustainability, like you are not wasting so much gas, you are not emitting so much carbon monoxide or carbon into the atmosphere, and you are working from home remotely. And studies have come forward that your productivity of these workers have gone higher. Because when you are flexible, you get flexible hours and you are working on your own. And I heard like one study said they are working more than what they used to work in office, basically. So these are some of the good after effects of COVID. I wish more companies can start that remote working and add these things to the portfolio so that you don't have to worry about commuting 1 hour or 2 hours sitting in the car every day. That's a waste of time, basically. Your quality time is just being wasted on the road, and you can that same time you can spend on your kid, taking you for a baseball or whatever you want to do, scouting camp, outdoor, whatever you can do with the family. Yeah. So that's really very important.
Yep, we are now end of our show, and I just wanted to conclude by stating and asking the last question for this episode. you are such experienced entrepreneur. You are very well educated, and you ran political campaign 2 times, one time in 2016 and 2018, and you've been involved in many different committees. So if you have to give a message to our upcoming generation, folks like us, Rajdeep and Gurdwara and some others that who are willing and getting into this arena and wants to help or support, what message you can give it to them? What somebody that does have no political background, what a person he or she needs to do to get involved?
Thank you. So first thing is I give very paramount importance to education. Education, whatever, is not that we want to become doctors or scientists only. Both my kids, my elder one joined computer science. He said, I didn't like it. I said, don't worry, do whatever you want to. He graduated in economics. Younger one was already in politics type. He graduated in public finance, he's working with public finance now, but government major and public policy. That's important. Like it develops our skills, analytical skills. Coming back to how we get involved. So your involvement is a must. Like politics is dirty, but policy making is a lot of pains. You have to hear so many bad things, good things, whatever. But at the end of the day, these politicians are running the country. That they are making the policy making. So your involvement as a young generation is very paramount. Start from the beginning, like get involved into the student politics, get involved into the college politics, get involved into the community, getting involved into the community in non-profits. That's so paramount, because once you get involved into these non-profit organization as a community service, you learn so much, like how other people are living within our community, what are their pain points, what they need basically, what are the issues related within the community are. And this will bring up, depending upon your interest, get involved into the commissions, which you both are very well involved. And I started the same way basically. And our community does lot of within the Gurdwaras. Please come out of the Gurdwara. Let's play politics outside of Gurdwara. That's my thing. We go to Gurdwara just to pray. Let's have politics outside. So that's very important. So young, and I'm so proud of both of you basically. At this young age, you are both Park and Rec Commission, Planning Commissioner, and you are not only within that, you are very active in the community. I see your post and your involvement into the different political spheres. That's very important, very important. So next generation, like my one call, we all young generation cannot be engineers, cannot be doctors. Some of us have to take the mantle of doing something different and to pursue your dreams, like what you like the most. That's the dream. And even request to the parents, don't force your kids to be a doctors or engineers or what you want them to be. No, give them space, let them choose what they want to do. I didn't ask both my kids what that I want you to be this. Believe me, I never. And they have done great. And all of these kids, we are lucky to be in this country. Like when I graduated, I did my high school, I couldn't join NDA. I couldn't do anything. I joined BSc Honors in Physics, Punjab University. I didn't like it, but I had to carry forward it, do it up to masters. But in this country, you go join as an engineer, you come out as a doctor, or you join as an engineer, you come out at a master's in political science. We got such a good system. So follow your dreams, but keep involved. Your involvement into the community is a must. And young leaders like you, they're good examples for that. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing your experience and your thoughts with us and giving us compliments. As it's a big honor for both of us, and we're just trying our best. And I don't think so we are at the level to be called leaders yet. But
no. You are leaders. You don't underestimate yourself, both of you. You are leaders. Yeah, it is. Yeah, and it's a proud moment for the community also. Like when we do this term, we do for our family, for our community, for Sikh community, and overall bigger community. Like spending time for those multiple hours at Planning Commission, not everyone can do it. So it's a,
like you said, when we talk about that we belong to a specific Sikh religion or Sikh community, and there's only one slogan that I think applies to the universally to everyone. Nanak Naam Chardikla Tere Pane Sarbat Da Pala. We're talking about everybody's well-being. So if we are doing something, it's just not only for specifically for Indian community or Sikh community or Punjabi community. It's about everyone, each and every person that's living in our town, in our county, in our state, in this country. And we love this country. We're proud to be calling ourselves, we are the United States.
That's very correct. Yeah.
You know, issues and problems are everywhere. We have to spend some time and effort to understand our fellow citizens, their issues. So that's how we can just request them whenever we need something. So it has to be both ways. So we have to work towards more involved, even the children, everybody should be more involved in those affairs. So thank you very much for your time and the valuable tips and sharing with us so your journey as well as what the future looks like. So with that, I want to thank everyone who is listening us, and we'll be meeting next week with our next weekly podcast. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sasikal, Gurtej, and Rajdeep. Appreciate being here. It was an honor to be here. Yeah.
Thank you.